jukwaa la usalama tour, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen said the government will reclaim the grabbed land. Murkomen put on notice police officers, area chiefs and other government officials aiding in the transportation of illicit alcohol through porous Kenya-Uganda border.
As witnessed in the recent past, a great rise of goons, politically generated and facilitated goons that are causing havoc in meetings, giving problems to law enforcement. Political leaders, each one of them are hiring some goons. It starts like bouncers and then moves slowly. They become criminals that are making public meetings impossible here, funerals, places of fights, and then, you know, they are incentivized by the money they paid. They also get drugs and they get alcohol. I have also asked the county security team to work with the elected leaders here to ensure that all the goons that have been hired and those that are about to be hired are all dismantled, everybody to go and do their own business, and they be given something else to do instead of engaging in this goonship. In some instances, had we taken seriously reports that came from the DCI, we could not have been having the situation that we had in KNH. So it's important for all of us to take security information seriously and it's better to take precaution and be wrong than to try to be right and allow something wrong to happen in our hospitals or public facilities. And we will be working with the Ministry of Health to see if there is anything else we can do to enhance protection of our patients, especially in referral hospitals.
And still keeping up with the security beat, a section of leaders in Trans-Mara, Narok County has raised concern over recurring land-related feuds between two communities at Angata Barakoi and the neighboring Migori County. The leaders blamed the violence on individuals keen on disrupting peaceful coexistence. They condemned the destruction of crops and past killings, urging the youth to seek alternative livelihoods. While regretting the tensions, they also hailed efforts by both communities to maintain peace and called for unity to be strengthened at the grassroots levels.
Vita wachaneni naye. Unajua ukidungwa mkuki, ukienda hospitali unaenda peke yako? Ama kuna mtu anaenda na bomu? Tafadhali hata kukiwa kubaya, ambieni ile vijana nyamazeni kidogo.
Nashukuru sana jamii ya Kipsigis na jamii ya Wamasai, sababu ile amani ambayo wako naye ni amani ambayo inajulikana katika Kenya mzima.
Sisi ni wa Kenya na tumepakana na Mbaga na tutaishi milele na milele. Vita ni ya nini? Wakuria ni ndugu zetu kutoka South Nyanza, Wakuria ni ndugu yetu kutoka Tanzania.
Away from that, the government is calling on more young Kenyans to take up opportunities in technical and vocational education training or TVET training as the country intensifies skills on development for economic growth. Principal Secretary for TVET, Dr. Esther Thara Moria, who spoke during a TVET sensitization forum, said the government is investing in equipping institutions, developing competency-based curricula and expanding access to TVETs across counties. The TVETs principals who attended the event say the training being offered by their institutions was now more powering informal and formal sectors, from construction sites to tech startups.
On the curriculum, we have adopted the modularized curriculum and making sure that it has even the emerging technologies. We have also done a lot of training to our trainers, retooling them, taking them for short courses at Kenya School of TVET and the ones that have been organized by the State Department. This is to make them fully equipped to deliver the new curriculum to the trainees.
Basic education and training, the modularized curriculum, And in this particular section of training, sometimes people think that it is a suitability for ladies, but I'm here to appeal and to also invite the young men out there who have a passion for culinary arts, that is in the area of catering, in the area of hospitality and tourism, who would want to serve in our prestigious tourism industry, which is very wide, and they can work in various sections.
In Mathenge Technical, we have state-of-the-art equipment. We have tried to improvise because we are using the banners that are made locally, but the trainers are top-notch. They are doing their best with what we have.
Still on education, 300 learners from 10 schools in Oloililai sub-county in Kajiado County and its environs are set to benefit from a bicycle distribution drive aimed at improving school attendance. Out of the total, 210 bicycles were allocated to children with disabilities as part of efforts to address distance covered by pupils, with some having to cover 15 kilometers to school, which has become a challenge. The event also marked the official launch of a newly equipped Education Assessment and Resource Center in Ilbisil Secondary School for the deaf, intended to strengthen early identification and support for children with special needs. The initiative is part of the Improving Inclusive Education project led by Girl Child Network with support from Christian Blind Mission.
Mtoto wangu atakuwa akisoma vizuri na ataperform vizuri, ndio ataenda shule mapema, alafu apate nafasi ya kuingia preps mapema.
Hii baskeli kuna msaidizi mzuri sana juu anatupeleka watoto wetu waende shule, tena anatusaidia watulete maji kidogo.
This bicycle under normal use and care inafaa kudumu at least 15 to 20 years. The first 5 years.
We target 25 schools, and these schools are regular government primary schools, matters. So we target learners of age between 4 and 14, and we work with the different stakeholders.
Hii baiskeli sio ya mzazi na sio ya mtu mwingine. Hii baiskeli imeletwa kusaidia yule mtoto, na kama yule mtoto ako na ulemavu ambao kwa njia moja ama nyingine hawezi kuendesha ile baiskeli, maybe ako na brother ama sister ambaye anaweza mbeba, kama wako kwa shule moja wakuje shuleni pamoja.
Elsewhere, the Kenya National Private Security Workers Union has welcomed the move by the industry regulator to develop a bill to guide the private sector security. The Secretary General of the Kenya National Private Security Workers Union, Isaac Andabwa, received the proposed bill in Nairobi, which aims to streamline and regulate operators within the private security industry. He reiterated that compliance with licensing requirements will promote professionalism and integrity in the industry.
So 14 days to consult and input in a document that is going to do reform in the private security industry in the Republic of Kenya, contrary to his own order, employing those, contracting those employers who don't meet the threshold of the government, then that order from the CS has no meaning.
Moving on, Samburu County residents are urging the government to restore peace along the Samburu-Baringo border and work on registering the Longewan and Lariak who have been unregistered for over 30 years so that they can go back to their lands. Speaking after the completion of the public participation and confirmation by the National Lands Commission, Samburu West Member of Parliament Naisula Lesuda affirmed the hope for the completion of the process and getting back settlements to the community.
Siku ya leo ilikuwa ni siku ya kuja kufanya public participation kwa wenyeji kwa ile ardhi tumeomba kwa miaka mingi. Inaitwa Lariak Bird Sanctuary ambayo ni ekari 900.
We have visited with the National Lands Commission together with the county government 3 areas pieces of land in Samburu West constituency. That is Kelele, that is Longewan, and now we're here at Misigiwe. And these are pieces of land where the community has requested the county government that it changes ownership to revert back to the community.
Police in Matungulu area are being urged to be vigilant after growing concern over a group allegedly using border riders to lure others into cult-like activities emerge. This follows chaos during the funeral of Lenny Mutua, who died in a border crash. 2 more youths linked to the funeral entourage also died in separate incidents. Mule is now calling on the county to register all border operators under SACCOs to curb criminal infiltration.
The Constitution of Kenya does not allow you to deprive the family the right to send their own in a decent way. That is not the Constitution of Kenya. The Constitution of Kenya does not allow you to associate, to cause mayhem, to cause terror to families during their funeral. Kwa hivyo nataka nikemee ile vitendo ilifanyika Kanguna.
Moving on, residents of Nairobi, Kiambu and Kajiado counties are set to benefit from a free medical camp courtesy of the Orthodox Church in conjunction with a team of medical staff from Thessaloniki University in Greece. According to His Eminence Archbishop Andreas Makarios of the Orthodox Church, high poverty levels and the limited health facilities in the country have inhibited Kenyans from accessing quality medical services. The initiative that has been running for years now targets vulnerable families in the aforementioned regions.
Some isolated villages, we don't have health facilities, and people don't go to get any treatment anywhere because they are very far. But through their mission, people are able to get the right treatment and also the right medicine.
We provide our services to the people of Kenya in several areas, in Kimende, in Katsa, today in Kamandu. We are very happy to be here, and we hope to continue to do it also in the future.
And this is not the first time they come here. Every year for the last like a couple of over 10 years, they have been coming here every year to offer these services. And I feel that it is actually a very good gesture to the community.
Tumetibiwa, watoto wetu wametibiwa na tumepewa madawa. Kwa hivyo tunasema shukrani sana.
Now, Makueni County, known for its dry lands and scarce water, is rewriting its story owing to a climate action initiative. The initiative by Wautu Kiangati Sand Dam in Ilima Ward is transforming the landscape from barren lands to blossoming fields. Our environment reporter Opicho Chemutai shares the story of how the initiative to rehabilitate a seasonal river is not only restoring the landscape, but also restoring hope, one harvest at a time. Take a look.
Wautu Village, Ilima Ward, Makueni County. Once an abandoned stretch of land, now blooms in green defiance of the harsh sun. But the secret behind this transformation lies not in the skies, but beneath the sand. A concrete wall quietly hanging the base of a seasonal river now holds more than just water, it holds promise.
The height of the wall and the throwback of the river to where the sand will reach the farthest point, all that is usually there's water in there.
This is the Wautu Changati Sandam Water Project, a 16 million shillings lifeline funded under the Financing Locally Led Climate Action Program, or FLOCA, in collaboration with Makueni County Government.
This project was identified by the community members through a participatory climate risk assessment, where we sit down with the community members, identify their climate risks, identify the strategic intervention, and come up with a ward climate action plan.
It is a river of hope. Richard Kimeu remembers the desperation of farming during the drought.
Juu saa zingine mvua inakuja inanyesha, tukifikia pali na kama nimeweka mimea yangu, mvua inakuja inakatika. Sasa unaona mvua ikikatika, ndio mimea yangu inakauka.
Now his farm thrives all year round.
Lakini saa hiyo unaenda unakuta kila mtu, at least everybody kwa shamba yake iko na, hata kama si chakula mingi, akota tusukuma pale, ng'ombe ziko vizuri.
A few meters away, Diana Mutua and John Mativo walks through rows of trees and vegetables in their flourishing agroforestry plot, proof that with water comes life.
Sasa penye ilifika huko juu kwa water point, nikachukua pipe, nikaeka maji kwa shamba. Sasa ndio nikaanza kulima mboga, spinach, sukuma, nyanya, kitunguu. Ndio niwe najitafutia income.
2 new communal water points now serve dozens of families daily with a gravity-fed line, ensuring even the most distant homes are not left behind.
For this project, we have distributed water using solar energy, and the community are very receptive because also the operation cost, because when we do the project, we usually hand over to a project sustainability committee to operate the project.
In the next 2-3 years, people will be having a lot of avocados here. It is also good for our health. They say fruits are good for our health. Yeah, vegetables that are happening are fresh. People will be having a lot of them in here.
Jacqueline Kamusa, Makueni Climate Change Assistant Director, says this is just the beginning.
We have done 13 projects in 13 wards. In Makueni, we have 30 wards. So far we are remaining with 17 wards that we are planning to do the projects in this financial year.
As climate change tightens its grip, locally led solutions are proving not only effective but essential.
Climate change has affected the supply of water in many villages, food availability, and also even in terms of community empowerment. So when we give this household the water, they are able to farm, supply the products to the market, and also to be able to sustain their livelihoods.
We've seen the Climate Change Act for most of the counties say they want to finance 2% of their budget towards climate financing, but we are requesting that they could constantly increase that amount because we've seen the effects of climate on our communities.
Back in Ilima, the fields grow greener, the water flows longer, and hope, like the crops, rises again.
Community members here, by that wanting to see water and see their place change, are committed to safeguarding this project.
Water scarcity is one of the major problems being experienced in arid and semi-arid land counties. But with this Wautu Changati water dam sand project, it will be a game changer to most of these counties if adopted.
Opicho Chemtai for KBC Channel 1.
Good to see what they are doing at Wautu Changati Sand Dam in Ilima Ward, led by the likes of Kennedy Kioko. Well, that explosive piece by our environment reporter Opito Chemutai takes us to a fast break. But when we come back, I still run you through a couple of more stories before we delve into the world of sports. Just 4 days to CHAN. Remember, CHAN Eco KBC. We will be televising all the matches both from Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Morocco is already here. More on that after this break.
Wakenya wenzangu, this August, something big is happening. CHAN 2024 is here and Harambee Stars are ready to shine. Let us come together and support our boys as they fight for glory. Tune in to KBC Channel 1 and let's cheer our boys. Because when Harambee Stars win, Kenya wins. Twende kazi, Team Kenya all the way.
Mnakubalisha paka wentawasimu wanakuja na huku kwa jikoni.
Papas wangu.
Waja! Na tena mimi madharau kama isipendi.
Nakwambia tuto jojo rojo popo. Soso momo.
Klasi yangu imepanda. Unaweza tu kukula na macho.
Nini mbaya? Mbona una wasiwasi?
Hii inakuwa kafeska kujituma. Yaani kushozana niko busy.
Nitakwambia mara ngapi mimi hii lugha yako sielewi.
We, Angelina Kivu jenzi nini na hii veza idoju tuzome hapa, 800.
Mimi nakula 40 bob, nakula 760. Mimi natoa pesa 760.
Ndugu yangu sunisikie jamani.
And Lamin Camara with his first career goal.
Ni muda wa kuhesabu kwa ajili ya kusherekea fasili na asili ya soka barani Afrika. Ligi za ndani na magwiji wasiotambulika.
Mangeni Alvin anaichanja ndani uzuri. David!
Michuano ya CAF ya mataifa ya Afrika 2024 ni njia ya kuzindua kupanua mtandao wa wachezaji ulimwenguni. Timu itakayoshinda itazawadiwa dola za Marekani milioni 3.5 pamoja na kujivunia kulinyanyua kombe hilo. Pata manufaa zaidi kutoka kwa CHAN 2024 mubashara na kipute cha kipekee kwenye runinga ya KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News. Many thanks indeed for keeping me company. Moving on, a 38-year-old visually impaired single father is making news in a quiet village in North Kabuoch, Njue constituency. Peter Opio Agola is making the headlines for challenging cultural norms and societal perception by raising his child single-handedly despite the odds. Here are the details of how the visually impaired single father is proving that disability is not inability.
In Homa Bay County, a 38-year-old Peter Ogola started his day like any other parent. Agola was forced to play the role of both the father and mother to his child after the child's mother left, leaving him to take on full parental responsibility.
Na sisi pia tunajifunza kwa watoto. Tunaona ama tunasikia vitu yenye watoto wanataka. Ingawa iko mchangamoto kidogo, lakini kama mimi lazima itabidi nifanye juu mtoto lazima asikie kutoka kwa wazazi.
Agola, who is visually impaired, recalls a terrifying moment when his child was found unresponsive, holding a sharp object, an experience that underscored both the emotional weight of a single parenting and the vulnerability of raising a child with limited support.
Mtoto kama gali mdogo ilikuwa afadhali kidogo, lakini vile amekuwa mkubwa anaweza enda mahali kama anacheza na msioni penye yako na nikimwita aitiki. Sasa hapo ndio naona changamoto sana.
Agola cited a lack of access to essential services, financial resources and mobility support as the major problems he faces.
Tunaweza omba serikali tusaidie sana sana watu kama wako na disabilities. Tunaweza wanaweza empower sisi kama watu kama sisi.
His stories align with an initiative by Child Fund in TVET sub-county aimed at challenging gender stereotype in parenting.
This is our joy as a project because we are seeing a different dimension of men coming out to support caregiving. This is something to be proud of because caregiving has been an exclusively a women affair.
Despite his odds, Agola is redefining what it means to be a father, a role model and a pillar in a community where tradition often dictates the limit of possibilities. Aaron Marie, Lunchtime News.
Indeed, not inability at all. Elsewhere now, in the heart of modern warfare, where every second counts, a group of unsung heroes work diligently to keep military machines running. These are the transport officers who brave battlefield danger to deliver vital supplies to the front line. Warrant Officer 2, retired Richard Kipkorir Tinga, worked as a motor transport officer MTO in the Army and was among the last bunch of Army recruits to train and pass out under founding President Jomo Kenyatta in 1978. Tinga unfortunately passed away just a few months after I had a sit down with him in his home in Eldoret for this week's edition of Midnight Tales. We drive about 20 kilometers from Eldoret City to Kipsamo village in Kapseret constituency. Here, we are welcomed by one former Kenya Army officer, Warrant Officer 2 retired Richard Kipkorir Tinga, who served for over 3 decades.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Richard Kipkorir Cheruiyot Tinga. Nilisaliwa Nandi district, pande wa Aldai huko Kapsabet huko.
As a young boy, Tinga joined Kapso Primary School and Samoei Secondary School before joining the army in 1978.
Niliajiriwa jeshi tarehe 1 mwezi wa 3 1978, ambaye niliandikiwa Kapsabet Nandi district na nika train Langata Barracks which is 7 care, nikamaliza training, nikapostiwa nikaenda Nanyuki Barracks ambaye ni 10 engineers, ambaye sasa tunaweza sema tulirekrutiwa ama tuliandikwa na hayati Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
In his first assignment, he was a driver in the 10th Engineers Battalion in Nanyuki, where he also got his first promotion.
Mimi nilienda pale nikaanza kwanza kama driver, ordinary driver. In fact, nilikuwa naendesha CEO yangu ambaye ni retired Major General Warutere. 86 nilikuja Thika na hiyo rank hiyo ya kopro. 89 nikapewa rank of sergeant na kupelekwa mpaka Isiolo School of Combat Engineers. Nikakaa huko mwaka moja nikiwa nasimamia magari. After kukaa mwaka moja nikawa reposted back, nikarutiswa back to 10 engineers Nanyuki. My mother unit ambaye nilianzia maisha yangu. Nikarutiswa hapo kutoka 89 nikaja tu nikasimamia magari. Nimewacha sasa kuendesha, sasa nikawa in charge ya transport. Mimi nikafaa rank of senior sergeant, nikiwa hiyo Nanyuki hiyo, nikafaa rank of warrant officer 2. Ambaye hiyo rank nilikaa naye nikiwa MTO for 15 years.
Having been employed in the 70s and served under 4 presidents, he points out the changes, especially on the welfare of soldiers over the years.
Moi wakati aliingia, pesa ikaongezwa, ikasonga juu. Wakati Kibaki aliingia, pesa ikaongezwa ikasonga juu. Wakati Jusi Uhuru ameingia, pesa imeongezwa. Wakati huo mambo ya panga haikukua. Yes, tulikuwa tuna save pesa kwa posta.
34 years in the forces, he points out match and shoot exercises as the most intense that tried every soldier to the core during his illustrious career.
Match and shoot tulitrain Isiolo, but nilienda match and shoot ambaye nilienda wakati nilirudi kambi, hata nilikuwa nimechange, nilikuwa nimekuwa nyeusi, mambo ya kuwa brown iliisha. Yani nikifika tunatembea usiku na mchana, ambaye tukiletewa hata chakula ati ni lunch, mimi natafuta mahali iko kifuli na usingizi. Chakula haingii. Mnapumzika mchana, lakini ikifika saa 12 jioni, mwendo wenu ni ya usiku mpaka kesho asubuhi. Hakuna kufunga macho na mnaishi. Mnaweza toka, tuseme kutoka Eldoreti, mwende mpaka Nakuru ama over Nakuru, bio Nakuru, bila kufunga macho na mnaishi, bila kupumzika. Uko na misiko yako umepepa, uko na punduki umepepa, uko na risasi yako umepepa, na hivi vitu yote ni nzito. So unaenda mpaka mguu umefaa kiato namna umefaa, lakini mguu chini inachupuka.
In 2005, Tinga was among soldiers in the United Nations Peace Mission in Eritrea and reminds Kenyans on the essence of peace.
Kama inawezekana tuishi na amani namna tunaishi, pale watu wako na shida hawana amani, wako na shida, kila kitu ni shida, kupata chakula ni tabu. Pale hakuna mambo ya kusema ati iko sheria, watu wanauana. Kuua mtu sio problem, uko kuua mtu sio shida. Tukiwa wana Kenya tunakaa vizuri, ambaye mimi hata kama nimekuja nyumbani ningewaomba ya kwamba wajue inji ambaye iko na msosano ama mafarakano hakuna maendeleo yoyote.
The former Army Motor Transport Officer MTO advises young serving soldiers to remain true to country and duty.
Mimi ningetaka discipline ya military ipaki namna ilikuwa. Namna tulikuta na namna tuliwacha, ningependa iendelee hivyo ndio tuwe na jina mzuri ya jeshi ni discipline.
A family man and father of 4 acknowledges his family support for over the 3 decades he served in the army.
As much as nilikuwa natuma pesa, but nilipata pipi mzuri ambaye alijua ya kwamba mzee ako kazi na mzee atarudi nyumbani. Kazi nyingi ni yeye amefanya. Mimi tu nimekuja kumsupport. Na kwa familia kwangu Mungu amenijalia na watoto 4. Niko na wasichana 2 na vijana 2. Jana yangu hakuna mtu yote ametaka military. Asante. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nimeshukuru.
Tinga, who was ailing, passed on a few months after this interview. And even though he's gone, every mile he drove was a testament of his unwavering commitment, and the impact of his dedication will echo on every road we travel. Rest in peace, Tinga. For Military Tales, I'm Njue. Time now to make sense of shillings and cents in business. Kenya is looking to accelerate the implementation of the World Trade Organization's Trade Facilitation Agreement as part of ongoing efforts to enhance cross-border trade efficiency. Speaking in Mombasa during the opening of a 5-day review workshop on the implementation of WTO Category C measures, the technical reviews and engage the political class, emphasizing that goodwill is essential for the successful execution of trade facilitation measures. Obama called on the committee to ensure that the country's progress aligns with the WTO's global target of reducing trade costs by at least 14%.
We are looking at the increment of share of African exports as percentage of global trade from 3 to 4%, and in terms of value from 500 billion Kenyan shillings to 600 billion Kenyan shillings. If it is intra-African trade compared to like European Union, which is at 69-70% intra-EU trade, we are looking at how we can get to 20% from where we are at 16%.
Really the ease of doing business, really ensuring that trade costs are minimized, because the WTO trade facilitation agreement had actually even put a target that they're expecting by the time you finish all those categories, the trade cost should have gone down by 14%. So we need to start checking where are we at when it comes to those trade costs.
Now, flight delays and rescheduling are the most common concerns among travelers by air in the common market of Eastern and Southern Africa COMESA region. A survey by the COMESA Competition Commission found that 47% of the complaints centered on flight delays or rescheduling, with 9% experiencing cancelled flights. 72% of those affected did not receive redress from the concerned airlines.
The COMESA Competition Commission undertook to understand the actual consumer concerns in the aviation sector, establish the extent of the spread of the consumer concerns in the common market, and identify the practices by airlines which infringe the rights of consumers in the common market. The report, published in COMESA Competition Commission's annual report, shows that delayed flights were the most common at 32%, with 15% of respondents citing rescheduled flights and 9% experiencing flight cancellation. Baggage handling was also a common concern, with 12% of respondents having experienced damaged baggage and 11% with delayed baggage, and another 8% experiencing lost luggage. Other concerns include unfair booking conditions at 8% and overbooked flights at 5%. Based on the report, the Commission will engage the airlines and other authorities to address the concerns identified. Additionally, COMESA Competition Commission is expected to present policy recommendations to the COMESA Council of Ministers to guide the treatment of such cases. The report further shows that Kenya was the country affected by the highest number of investigations against restrictive business practices conducted by COMESA Competition Commission last year. In 2024, COMESA Competition Commission conducted 10 cases that affected Kenya, up from 6 in 2023. The increase is attributed to the robust competition law enforcement in the country. Betty Kiptum, Lunchtime News.
Moving on, Airtel Africa, public listed company, has reported 20.1 billion shillings in net profit for the June quarter, up from 4 billion shillings reported during a similar period in 2024. Airtel Africa Chief Executive Officer Sunil Taldar says the improved results were due to strong customer growth, rising demand for data and mobile money services, including in markets such as Kenya and East Africa.
Total revenue grew by 24.9% to $1.415 billion on sustained expansion in voice, data and mobile money services. Voice revenue increased 13.9%, while data revenue rose 38.1%, driven by a 17.4% increase in data customers to 75.6 million. This was due to better performance in regional units in East Africa, where Airtel has a presence in Kenya. The revenue for East Africa region grew 17.6% to 64 billion shillings. The customer base growth was largely driven by expansion of both increased network coverage and the increasing scale of the distribution in Kenya and Rwanda, Tanzania and Uganda. Mobile money revenue grew by 31.0% in reported currency and by 30.3% in constant currency, driven by strong growth both in East Africa and Francophone Africa. During the quarter, the group added 2,300 new network sites, expanding total sites to 37,579 and fiber coverage to over 79,600 kilometers. 4G population coverage increased to 74.7%, up 3.4 percentage points from a year ago. The group also advanced its debt localization strategy, increasing the share of local currency debt to 95%, up from 86% in the prior year. Capital expenditure declined 15.6 million shillings during the period, primarily due to timing differences. Airtel Africa maintained its full-year capital expenditure at 93.6 million shillings to 96.9 million shillings. Alan Auko, Lunchtime.
In sports, we begin with CHAN, where Morocco national football team was the first Group A side to arrive in Kenya ahead of the Africa Nations Championship set to kick off on Saturday. Matches of the 2024 Africa Nations Championship will be televised live right here on your true sports partner, KBC Channel 1.
Morocco arrived in Kenya early Monday morning, 6 days before they kickstart their CHAN title hunt against been pulled in Group A alongside hosts Kenya, Zambia, DRC and Angola.
I'm happy to be in Kenya. We're ready in CHAN. Yeah, it's happy. Nairobi is, I think, good weather and good city.
Zambia are expected to land in Kenya on the 29th, Angola on 30th, while Harambee Stars' first opponents DRC will arrive on 31st of this month. DRC will play Harambee Stars in Group A's opening game at the Kasarani Stadium on Sunday, a day after the opening game of the 2024 tournament between Tanzania and Burkina Faso, to be played at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Tanzania. The continental tournament for home-based players is being co-hosted by Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda and will run from 2nd to 30th of August. KBC Channel 1 will televise those matches live.
Just a quick reminder, it's not only KBC Channel 1 but also affiliate radio stations of KBC. They will also be having commentaries on the CHAN football matches. Elsewhere, KCB, that is Kenya Commercial Bank Rugby Football Club, RFC, are the new kings of the 2025 Driftwood Sevens, reclaiming the title they last won in 2019 after a dominant display in Mombasa. Form this season stormed through the tournament unbeaten, capping off their campaign with a hard-fought win over spirited Strathmore Leo side in the final. KCB set the tone early, topping Group C with a flawless run in group stages. The intention was clear. It is only intensified in the quarterfinals, where they thrashed Menengai Oilers 29-0 in a one-sided affair. But it was a semi-final showdown against arch-rivals Cabra Sugar that truly tested their mettle. In what was arguably the game of the tournament, KCB edged Cabras 10-5 in a tense physical encounter that set the stage for the final against Strathmore Leos. The university side had impressed throughout the weekend, but KCB experience and composure under pressure proved decisive. The Bankers held on to secure a win and lift the Driftwood Sevens title. In a statement of intent from KCB as the National Sevens Circuit gets underway, all eyes now turn to Nakuru for the second leg of Prince-Law 7, scheduled for the 2nd to the 3rd of August.
We've seen the impact, we've seen the results, and we've seen the impact that is being brought out by us coming back into the 7th circuit. I think for the first time when we came, remember it was after that unfortunate relegation. Later on, of course, what happened was this team, the circuit, became a feeder into the Shujaa. Of course, they went ahead, of course, to tackle the Africa Sevens champions, which made them book their place at the Olympics.
I've seen both the director of rugby, a few people, the coaches for both men's and women's sevens working together and trying to just collect stats on different players so that they're able to get or identify a new crop. And this was good. This was good for them because quite a few new players emerged for some of us, you know, some people that you didn't imagine would be as good.
Elsewhere, defender Lewis Bundy was named AFC Leopards' most valuable player MVP and defender of the season during the club's award gala held Sunday evening in Bungoma County. Musa Oundo was named the club's best midfielder. Ronald Chenje was the best striker, while Ovela Ochieng was recognized for scoring the best goal of the season. Leaders from Bungoma County, led by Speaker of the National Assembly Moses Wetangula, were in attendance as they emphasized on their commitment to local talent development. AFC Leopards' newly elected chairman Boniface Ambani and Under 45 branch chair Olympia Musonye were also present.
This gala is a step forward from what we did last year because we've seen how the magnitude of the gala itself.
We want to see AFC Leopards back to where it was. A phenomenon. There was a time when the national team of Kenya had 9 players from AFC, with 1 from Breweries and 1 from Gor Mahia.
Governors in the counties of the Luo Nation commit some funds to support those academies, of which they will have some reserve, which can go now to support the activities of AFC Leopards. I think we will make some progress in this country.
Further afield, history was made once again by the England women national football team as they emerged champions of Europe by retaining their title in a dramatic penalty shootout final victory over Spain. Spain started off strongly, leading with a power major trophy won on foreign soil for England, who also became the first side to win a single-legged Euros final, having been behind at halftime.
Oh, it was soft and Hutton saves. Well played. Good penalty. England are ahead. Advantage England. Oh, it's not a good penalty. Katakal could move so easily to a left-hand side and make the save.
Very well, and that sporting action that left Spain crying after being beaten by England takes us to a tail end of this conversation. More sports news in our subsequent bulletin, but you can check out this news plus much more from our other social media spaces, including our KBC digital app. More sporting action. Remember, Chan, this is from this Saturday to the 30th of August 2025. We have all the sights, the sounds, the goals, the tears as well. But all the same, we wish our Harambee Stars all the best. Remember, we will be keeping you updated with all the Chan updates right here on Channel 1. Many thanks indeed for joining us. My name is Ben Troy Njue, and Anne Wangeshi has been our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Have a good one.
ingekuwa vizuri sana kama ungepigania Jane wako vile unapigania watoto wa Joyce.
Usinitajie huyo pepo.
Ishinde huyo pepo kabisa. Yaani huyo mwanamke hakuna siku ataniacha na amani na familia yangu. Ashughulike tu na boma yake.
Nimekuambia urudi hivyo umekuja. Let's grow up. Let's mature.
Mimi sioni shida yoyote.
Wacha uongo. Wewe na Joyce hakuna kitu mnafanana.
We wish the best to our team Harambee Stars who are just about to play their matches and against the other teams. And tunakaribisha hawa pia teams zingine wakuja wacheze nyumbani. This is Kenya, home of champions, home of runners, and we welcome them. Na tunasema raia wote wa Kenya wote tuchukue nafasi hii to tune in tukisupport timu yetu tunapokaribisha wale teams ambayo wanakuja kucheza mpira.
I never heard the music so sweet. I repeat.
Wagwan, me brethren, big things are going. Remember, each and every Monday we have to shell down the place with nothing but the best of smooth way the vibes in your favorite station. You know these things, man.